South China Sea continues to be the center of tensions between China and democratic nations as Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen proposed an agreement between democratic countries to take a stand against aggressive actions. Taiwan's leader wants to form a coalition of nations to protect their freedom, in a reference to China's missions in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. China currently claims Taiwan as part of its territory and has applied pressure on Taiwan to also accept its sovereignty. Xi Jinping's regime has been upgrading its military capabilities in order to improve the quality of its missions. The latest upgrade was spotted at a Naval Aviation Regiment base under the People's Liberation Army or PLA Southern Theater Command. Ms. Tsai addressed the issue in Taipei at a forum attended by top Taiwanese security officials and senior Western diplomats. The Taiwanese leader said she was committed to improve the country's defensive competence. The rapid militarization of the South China Sea, increasing and frequent gray zone tactics in the Taiwan Strait and East China Sea, coercive diplomacy used against countries and corporations are all destabilizing the Indo-Pacific region. It is time for like-minded countries and democratic friends in the Indo-Pacific region and beyond to discuss a framework to generate sustained and concerted efforts to maintain a strategic order that deters unilateral aggressive actions. Ms. Tsai kept the desire to avoid war at the forefront of her appeal, but invited democracies to work together. China has been mounting pressure on Taiwan to recognize its status as part of China's territory, but Taiwan refused to give in to the push and instead created stronger bonds with other like-minded democracies. Some of those territories include the US, Australia, Britain, Canada, the European Union and Japan. The US is a key ally for Taiwan as it is the island's main arms supplier. During the meeting, Ms. Tsai said the free world needs a strategic order that encourages cooperation, transparency and problem-solving through dialogue, not threats of war. She added that it also needs a strategy that avoids war, yet clearly conveys our resolve to protect our democracies. Ms. Tsai added, "Divided we fall. Together, we are more than the sum of our parts." Taiwan has joined the US in its rejection of China's territorial claims over the South China Sea. Back in July, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced a formal rebuttal of most of China's maritime claims in the South China Sea. His remarks were considered a further escalation of tensions between the US and China, but he described the move as strengthening US policy. Mr. Pompeo said Beijing's claims to offshore resources across most of the South China Sea are completely unlawful, as is its campaign of bullying to control them. In a statement he added the world will not allow Beijing to treat the South China Sea as its maritime empire. America stands with our Southeast Asian allies and partners in protecting their sovereign rights to offshore resources, consistent with their rights and obligations under international law. U.S. stand with the international community in defense of freedom of the seas and respect for sovereignty and reject any push to impose might makes right in the South China Sea or the wider region. Meanwhile, China has conducted large-scale military exercises in an air defense zone controlled by Taiwan, leading ministers there to hold an emergency press conference. Taiwan's defense ministry made the announcement late last night, claiming China had held air and naval drills between 7 a.m. and noon on Wednesday and Thursday. It called the drills a severe provocation and a threat to peace in the region. The ministry said the drills took place between Taiwan's southwestern coast and the Taiwan-claimed Pratas Islands in the South China Sea. Drills have also been described by a former Taiwanese military officer as the most serious threat to the security of Taiwan since 1996, when China conducted a controversial missile test, firing 3 M9 ballistic missiles towards Taiwan which splashed down in nearby shipping lanes. Major General Yang Qing-sei, an intelligence official from Taiwan's defense ministry, accused China of conducting the drills near to Taiwan to encroach on its space. He said, "Everyone knows about their intention to take Taiwan, so it is very obvious that they are using the pretext of an exercise to squeeze our operating space." Technically, the drills took place in both international waters and international airspace. However, they were carried out on the Taiwanese side of what is known as the median line of the Taiwan Strait, an unofficial airspace boundary between Taiwan and China. They also took place in Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, an area in which fighters can be scrambled to investigate a foreign aircraft. Deng Xiaoping, Deputy Defense Minister for Taiwan, warned China not to underestimate Taiwan's determination to safeguard Taiwan homeland. He also said the airborne exercises by China was impacting on international flight safety because flight routes passed through the area. The relationship between China and Taiwan is tense in part due to Taiwan's insistence that it is an independent state rather than part of China. Beijing, on the other hand, sees Taiwan as a breakaway province. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen said in an interview this year, "Taiwan's an independent country already and we call ourselves the Republic of China, Taiwan." Last month, Beijing sharply reprimanded the U.S. for holding an official meeting between itself and Taiwan. U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar visited the nation to discuss a closer relationship between the two countries, as well as Taiwan's COVID-19 response. However, Wang Wenbin, a spokesman for China's foreign ministry, urged the U.S. to stop making official interactions of any kind with Taiwan, handle Taiwan-related issues prudently and properly, and not to send any wrong signals to Taiwan independence elements to avoid severe damage to China-US relations and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. China and the US have accused one another of threatening peace in the South China Sea this year amid military drills. The U.S. has accused China of carrying out a campaign of bullying to control offshore resources in the region. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian hit back, calling the U.S. a troublemaker to peace and stability in the region.